Hey, what's up, you guys? Hi, I'm Angel, if you're new. And if you've come back to this channel for some reason, thank you. I really appreciate it. I really do. So, some crazy stuff happened to me over the week. Last week, actually. I had an allergic reaction. And I literally almost had, I think it's called epileptic shock from it. And it was scary and crazy. And I'm still itching from the rash. I'm still trying to get completely rid of it. But thankfully, the laundry detergent is gone. I'm never bringing that back in the house again. So yeah, what happened was my boyfriend, he used laundry detergent that I was allergic to, apparently. He knew, but he figured if he used it on just his laundry, it would be okay, there wouldn't be a problem, you know? But turns out I'm highly allergic to the shit. But yeah, so what happened was my laundry touched his laundry and it got onto my skin and I broke out in hives within 24-hour period. I'm gonna try to insert pictures. I'm not that good at editing, so I'm gonna try and figure it out for you. My whole entire body was covered in hives. They were so itchy, they burned like hell. And I was freaking out. That night, I came home from work and I took a Benadryl and took a shower and was like, oh, it's probably gonna come on, my allergic reaction is gonna come on, but I'm going to be fine, because last time I just took a couple Benadryls and it went away within 3 to 4 days. It was painful, but it was, manageable. This time, when I went to sleep, I could barely stay asleep because I was itching so bad. The Benadryl didn't help at all. And I woke up, almost every hour, just in pain. And it got to the point where it was I think 7:30 in the morning, I couldn't take it anymore. And I got out of bed and my whole body hurt. I felt like I was literally hit by a train and drug underneath it. It was that painful. I couldn't really walk. I couldn't make fists because it was too painful, and I realized that my hands were starting to swell up. And I looked in the mirror and my face, my eyelids were gone. My eyes were so swollen you couldn't see my eyelids. It was terrible. It was scary. And yeah, it was just terrible. My whole face was swollen and had hives all over it. And my neck, the back of my neck was completely just one big hive, and it was completely red and it hurt to touch. It was, oh my goodness. But yeah, so long story short, I woke my boyfriend up because at first I called my mom to see if she'd give me a ride, because I would have drove myself, but honestly, the way I was feeling, I felt that it was not safe at all for me to drive. It would have been terrible. I was no, it was bad. So what happened was my throat, I started swallowing, and it felt like there was something on this side of my throat, a bump or something. It was just really swollen, and it felt like strep throat, really. And it was starting to become where it was hard for me to even speak. I could breathe, but it wasn't comfortable, and I knew when that started hurting and I couldn't talk, there was something wrong and I had to go to the hospital. So I woke my boyfriend up because I knew that he can get me there sooner if it got to the point where I literally couldn't breathe. And I didn't want to get to that point, so yeah, so he took me in right away. He got up, we went in, and yeah, they took me in the back to an emergency room, like a room, right away, because they didn't know if I was going through epileptic shock or if I was going to. So they wanted to be on the safe side. So yeah, I went in there and they were like, I think they asked me to get in the gown, but I didn't really know if they wanted me to or not. But I mean, like, I should have just, you know, figured. So I was getting into the gown, like, slowly, because I could barely really move, and I had to have my boyfriend help me because I seriously, it hurt. It really hurt. And as they came in, the nurses, and they were literally, they were mean. They were rude, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the doctor was nice, but the nurses were, like, completely assholes. Like, for no reason. Like, they barely even came in the room to check up on me or see how I was doing throughout the time I was there. I was, like, there for 3 hours, too, so, yeah. But, so I was getting my gown, they came in, and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, like, you want us to step out so you can get dressed? I'm like, yeah, I need to change still on the gown. And they closed it, and then not even 30 seconds later, like, I have a witness that my boyfriend can say the same thing, but they came in 30 seconds later, didn't even knock, and they left the curtain open. They didn't even close it, and they were just like, oh, are you done now? Are you done? And I'm like, trying to get this tied, and they're like, no, it's fine. You don't need to tie it. You have a rash that we have to check anyway. Like, it's fine. And they're like, just come sit on the bed, and they kept telling me to come sit on the bed. I'm like, dude, I'm half exposed. And they didn't even turn around and say, oh, let me give you a minute, we'll be in here, but we're just gonna get stuff ready or whatever. They just stared at me like, the fuck, dude, I'm trying to change, and I'm, like, completely half exposed, and you have the fucking door open. Like, it's a freaking issue. But anyways, so they closed the door finally, and I didn't have it tied. Or, I mean, I just sat in the bed because I wasn't dealing with it. I wasn't in the mood. So they asked me what was wrong, my symptoms, and then they kind of looked at my rashes and stuff. And I said, yeah, you have an allergic reaction, and we're probably gonna have to give you a Benadryl and an IV and a steroid. So they went to go get that ready, but they had the doctor come in to check, you know, to verify it. And while they left again, my boyfriend finally tied the back. The doctor came in, checked me, blah, blah, blah. You know, he told me, yeah, you have a severe allergic reaction, and we're going to give you an IV for it and give you steroids to take home. And so my mom, she came to the hospital later because my boyfriend had to work that day, so he went home to try and rest up before he had to work later on in the afternoon. And when my mom came in, she was just sitting there, and they gave me the IV. They were very rough with it too. It was just uncomfortable. And later on, like, they never came in after that. They just gave me my IV and they didn't come in. And it was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half before they came back in. And then they were like, how are you feeling? We're gonna check your blood pressure and whatever, heart rate or something. And they put the thing on me, they pump it, and they didn't even sit there to see what the numbers were. They just walked off. They left, and my arm, yeah, it was this arm, they left the little thingy, I don't even know what it's called, around my arm. And I was literally helpless to the point I couldn't even get it off because this one had an IV in it. And they just had me hooked up to all the stuff and just walked out of the room like they weren't in the middle of doing anything. And I guess I looked over because I was curious to see what it was. And my mom, she knows what, like, normal blood pressure and stuff is supposed to be. So she looked and she was like, yeah, it's kind of low actually. And I guess that is another symptom of an allergic reaction or epileptic shock or something. But yeah, they just left it, and I asked my mom, like, can you take this off me? Like, this is kind of annoying. Like, all tangled up with all this stuff, and like, I don't know. But yeah, so they didn't come in for another maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And then they're like, okay, you should be free to go home and stuff. So yeah, they took off my IV and stuff, and then they told me about the steroids and all that, and I was gonna need to take those home, and the doctor came in, and yeah, long story short, yeah, it was just an allergic reaction, and I needed to be on steroids for like a week. And yeah, it was uncomfortable, and it still is a little uncomfortable. It's not painful anymore, but it's itchy. It's very itchy. And I've done my laundry like 2 or 3 times since then, like my whole entire laundry, not just everything, and it's still, like, I even washed the bin that the laundry was in, and it's still itchy. Like, it's driving me insane. But yeah, so my boyfriend almost tried to kill me with that one, apparently. He didn't think it was that serious, and I'm like, if I'm breaking out in hives, you should just know not to use it. It's common sense, dude. But you put me through a lot of crap last week with that. That was terrible. Oh yeah, by the way, I cut my hair. It's a little messy right now because I just tried to do something new last night, and girl, it didn't work out. But yeah, cut it short. I'm gonna get it colored silver. I like the short hair on me. I didn't think I would, but I actually like it. It's less nappy. More volume. It doesn't look so thin and dead, you know? But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna have a slumber party with Sarah this weekend, so we might be putting up some new videos together. Hopefully. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to click it, because there's more videos coming. And like this video if you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. You know, help a girl out. And yeah, thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye.